This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next 2 hours, you're going to meet some very interesting people. You're going to meet somebody from Life Extension, one of the biggest supplement creators on the planet, and we're going to be talking to their medical director, Mike Smith. We'll also be telling you how to search for the white magician. And a little bit later in this hour, we're going to talk about a press conference I was at actually a couple of weeks ago about vitamin D and how important it is, and how the Natural and Organics organization has petitioned the FDA to allow it to be sold with benefits, talking about their benefits. We're going to begin today's show with David Foreman, the Herbal Pharmacist, Dr. David Foreman, and we're going to be talking with him about wandering minds and stress, how that can lead to severe conditions. And we're going to be doing that along with the insane Daryl Wayne and me. I'm Mark Alyn. Join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. Before we say hi to Dave, hello, Daryl.
Greetings and salutations.
And how are you, sir?
I'm better than Zuckerman's famous pig.
That's an oldie but goodie. Huh. All righty. Let's go to San Diego County, California, and we speak with David Foreman, who, by the way, on numerous occasions has been in the same building as I have, but doesn't try to find me. It's okay.
Yeah. You know, there were 85,000 people there.
I know.
It would have been, and it's not even it's not just the convention center. It's the 2 hotels outside of it. It's even the sidewalks. I mean, it was. Have you seen
and the new building?
Yeah,
that's another million square
feet. I
feet.
Made it into there. I never even got into that building. So, but just so the people that are listening to us right now, we were talking about the Natural Product Expo West, which is the largest event of its type in the natural health arena. Anything you can think of that you would buy in a health food store that has, or green product, so to speak, ingredients, cosmetics,
clothing,
food, pet supplies, clothing, supplements.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. We've talked about it. We did some videos, missed you doing that.
Cool.
From there, we did a couple of those and had some very good response for that. Let's talk about your topic, which fascinates me. Everybody has a wandering mind, but does the wandering mind cause stress? And what exactly is a wandering mind?
Well, sorry, I laugh on that as my mind wanders to something else.
Yes, exactly.
So a famous Harvard study found that humans, that our minds wander over 50% of the time. And when they looked a little deeper on that one, and I think if we actually will take time and think about it, we'll all agree with this, that the majority of what our minds are drifting off and thinking about are not good things. So they're worries. And worrying is really just another form of stress, or worrying actually causes stress on the body. And we know in both modern medicine and natural medicine that prolonged periods of stress affect the body in many different ways. The stress response normally is a healthy thing. So, when you hear that, that the boom of thunder, and you weren't expecting it, your heart rate goes up and you sweat at, those kinds of things, mouth maybe gets dry. That instance, that's a healthy response. But when we have that negative, stressful thought process going on day and night, a lot of us wake up in the middle of the night and, because we're thinking about something, it all goes back to our high-stress lifestyles that we tend to lead or we get forced into. Those things lead to an abundance of either life-threatening health issues like heart disease, uncomfortable situations like digestive disorders. And one of the big ones for me, Mark, and I think you and I have talked about this unrelated to stress, but just our ability to stay focused or concentrate. So
Absolutely.
many people, I think, are worried about, quote, losing their minds, right? You know?
Well, we live in a society that really promotes ADHD. I mean, attention deficit disorder. I mean, it's crazy.
It is, and
right.
You mentioned I'm in San Diego County. You know, just anybody that lives in California, you hop on the freeway, and if your mind wanders, that could kill you. You know, if you're drifting off, not paying attention to how you're driving, that could be, you know, that itself can be a life-threatening situation. And I joke about it, but it's true. Or you're stressing out about making dinner and getting your kids off to, you know, their extracurricular activities or paying your bills. Or, I mean, these are all the things that our minds tend to wander on, and then we forget where we put our car keys or our presentation at work, or like just now, our interview doesn't go well because our minds are drifting and thinking about other, you know.
That never happens to me. No,
no,
never. No, but you're right. You know, we're thinking about paying our bills. We're thinking about tonight's my mother-in-law's 93rd birthday. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy birthday, see? Mom. I guess, you know, but our society is so jam-packed full of information. And I was I was in San Diego for a week. Thanks for coming to visit. And at a couple of seminars, and my brain was literally jam-packed with so much information. It was overload. So the question is, how do we calm down? I was thinking of a couple of things. Meditation would be one. There must be a supplement like Sammy's. Would that be?
Well, you know, so I came up with 3 supplements that are really that do target the stress component, you know, to help calm you down and relax you. And these things have been used for hundreds of years by the indigenous people who discovered them. You know, one is an ingredient called Zembrin that comes from South Africa. There's an ingredient that comes from Siberia called rhodiola. There's an ingredient that sort of goes around the equator. The Aztecs were probably the largest population. They used an herb called passion flower. And they all do different things in different ways. And then you're right, Mark. You know, and I'll cover those. I know we usually do a couple segments, so I'll cover more in depth on those later. But you're right. Other than, you know, me being the herbal pharmacist and having these herb things, you said meditation's a good thing. You know, I always go back to my 4 pillars of health. You know, what you eat will affect your body's ability to handle or deal with stress. You know, how well you sleep, which is not one of my 4 pillars, but getting exercise, you know, supplements. And then, you know, you mentioned, for me, I always do prayer. That's one of my components to help manage my stress and keep me focused. But, you know, if people want to call it meditation, that's totally cool. But there are a lot of things that we can do. Supplements are probably the easiest thing to incorporate. And I've got some, and even though these herbs I mentioned earlier have been used, you know, we've known about them, you know, that they've been used for over hundreds of years by tribes and tribesmen. We now have science that shows us, yeah, they really do work, and how much to take, and what to expect, and how long it'll take to work, and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, even though these things date back, you know, centuries, and sometimes even more than just centuries, you know, we now have modern medicine showing us that, hey, you know what, it does work, and this is how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Our guest is David Foreman. He's a frequent guest on Late Night Health. He's known as the Herbal Pharmacist. In prayer or meditation, there have been studies to show that it does lower blood pressure, that it helps to calm the mind. Wouldn't that that seems to me to be a very natural way of approaching, you know, stress reduction.
It is, and but the issue I think I have, it's not really an issue, but I guess the area where I feel like people derail on that prayer meditation thing is, oftentimes if you're praying and you're like asking for help in the situation, you're really focusing on
the negative
on the problem, on the issue. What I like to do personally, and I've probably encouraged thousands of people to do this, which is to, when you're doing that meditation or prayer, to focus in on the things you're grateful for, have an attitude of gratitude or thankful for, whichever one you want to say. And I use the alphabet. So I'll say, if I really have something going on in my head that's just not a healthy thought, I will pray and I'll say, thank you for, and then I'll think of something that begins with an A, and then I'll think of something that begins with a B and C. And it really, so what you're doing there is you're reprogramming your thoughts into thinking at least positive things. Granted, if you've got enough reminders around you in your daily life, that you still have to pay your bills.
Of course. Hey, Dave, we're out of time, so we're going to take time out. We'll come back. I want to talk about those ingredients and where we can find them and how they work.
Cool.
I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Our guest is David Foreman. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be spending some time with Karen Howard from the Organics and Natural Association and talking about vitamin D. Don't go away. Late Night Health continues, and of course you can find us at latenighthealth.com and Facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. To think like an angel, you just have to see the love that's within all of those around you. It's as simple as sharing what's in your heart. When you think, act, and love just like an angel, there's little difference between you and these beautiful celestial beings. When you awake, begin your day in gratitude for something in your life. Start your day by embracing the first person you meet with a hug and a kiss. If you encounter someone in need, help them. It's as easy as sharing a smile or a kind word. And most importantly, love, love, love. It's that simple.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate a lower tax bill. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will fight for you using industry secrets that can stop any IRS actions, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor now for a free IRS audit emergency review.
800-663-5107. 800-663-5107. 800-663-5107. That's 800-663-5107.